Hello guys, welcome to IB360. We have already covered our topics on cell wall and plasma membrane. Today we will commence with cytoplasm. So cytoplasm is the jelly-like semi-fluid general mass of protoplasm, excluding the nucleus but including all other components. So by cytoplasm we include firstly the cytoplasmic matrix, the cell organelles, and the cell inclusions. So as far as the cytoplasmic matrix is concerned, it can exist in two states, as a sol and as a gel. So the two are respectively plasma sol and plasma gel. Plasma sol, that is the internal portion of the cytosol, also known as endoplast, and plasma gel is the ectoplast, which is lying immediately next to the cell membrane. In this diagram, the endoplasm part is the endoplast and the ectoplasm part is the ectoplast. The ectoplasm lies immediately next to the cell membrane. This is the cell membrane, and this region is the light colored portion is the ectoplasm. Water constitutes almost 90% of ectoplast, and this is the shallow one or the less dense one of the two. So this is a very important aspect of cytoplasmic matrix. One more thing, cytoplasmic matrix, also cytosol, has another name to it, that is hyaloplasm. In today's discussion we will mainly focus on cell organelles, and we will start with the endomembrane system. So endomembrane system is a group of protein trafficking membrane organelles which function in close coordination with one another, and they are the endoplasmic reticulum, the Golgi apparatus, lysosomes, and vacuoles. Functions of other organelles are not coordinated, and so they are not part of the endomembrane system, but function of these four cellular organelles, they are coordinated. In this particular diagram, you see we have the rough endoplasmic reticulum, the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, the Golgi apparatus, lysosome, and vacuoles. In this diagram they are not shown, but they are also integral part of the endomembrane system. Now endoplasmic reticulum is closely associated with the nucleus, but nucleus is not obviously part of the cytoplasm itself, so how can it be a part of endomembrane system? This is often a common confusion. We often tend to involve the nucleus under the endomembrane system, but nucleus is not. So the first thing we will look into today is the endoplasmic reticulum, the ER, and Golgi apparatus. In today's class we will talk about ER and Golgi apparatus. So this is a typical structure of ER. It was independently discovered by Porter in 1945 and Thomson also in 1945. Both of them discovered ER in the same year but independently. The name was given by Porter. He gave the term ER, endoplasmic reticulum, almost in 1953. And what is ER? ER is a three-dimensional, complicated, interconnected system of membrane-lined channels that run through the cytoplasm. So this is generally when we draw structure of cell, we tend to draw it in 2D, but in practicality, this is the thing. It is a 3D structure, three-dimensional structure, obviously three-dimensional, and at places it is connected with the plasma membrane as well as with the nucleus. So in this diagram, for example, we see that it is not connected to the plasma membrane. This is a slice of a cell like this. It is a slice of a 3D cell, and in this diagram the endoplasmic reticulum, which is this part, is connected to the nucleus via nuclear pores. We can see in this diagram the nuclear pores. These are the nuclear pore. So they are associated with the nucleus, or rather the nucleoplasm, via these nuclear pores. But this diagram does not show their connection with the plasma membrane. It is not necessary that always the endoplasmic reticulum must span across the cytoplasm from plasma membrane to nuclear membrane, but in most cases it does. So in this diagram we are shown a rough endoplasmic reticulum and a smooth endoplasmic reticulum. In my previous video on cell wall of eukaryotic cell, I had talked about plasmodesmata. And desmotubule. If you can remember, desmotubules are nothing but extensions of ER into plasmodesmata. So in details with diagram, I have already discussed desmotubules and plasmodesmatas in my previous video. You can go check it out, and the link will be in the I button above. So let us come back to ER. So these are the discoverers. Now the next point on ER is, it is not visible under light microscope. Rather, electron microscoping imaging help us decipher its structure more intricately. The next point is how it compartmentalizes the cytosol. Endoplasmic reticulum divides the intracellular space into two compartments, luminal and extraluminal. So the luminal compartment is lying inside the endoplasmic reticulum, and extraluminal is the rest of the cytoplasm. So the rest of the cytoplasm which is surrounding it is extraluminal, and inside the ER is luminal. The next important point is how it varies from cell to cell. In metabolically active cells like cells of liver or pancreas, ER is quite extensive. It is quite extensive. That means it spans across the entire cytoplasm from nuclear membrane up to plasma membrane. On the other hand, in simple storage cells like in adipose cells, fat cells, they are tubular. They are simple. They are reduced in spermatocytes. And in egg or in mature RBCs, they are absent. So once again, in this kind of cells they are extensive. In adipose cells they are simple, tubular. In spermatocytes they are reduced, and in egg or mature RBCs they are absent. So their distribution or their availability is not constant. In different types of cells they are varying according to their need, according to the adaptation. Also in prokaryotic cells we know they are absent. In resting cells, in embryonic cells they are absent. In spermatocytes they are mainly found in the form of vesicles. And in adipose cells or cells which store glycogen, they are mainly found in the form of tubules. In this diagram we see that these are how vesicles are looking and these are how tubules are looking. Vesicles and tubules, they are mainly associated with ACR, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, and cisternae, they are associated with RDR or rough endoplasmic reticulum. Rough, and this one is smooth. Okay, so let us talk about RDR and ACR a little bit more. So depending upon the nature of its membranes, ER is of two main types. One is RDR and one is ACR. ACR do not ACRs, they do not bear ribosomes. ACRs, they do not bear ribosomes. And they are also called, that is why they are also called agranular. And this type of ER is found in cells engaged in the synthesis and storage of glycogen, fat and sterols. Glycogen, fat or sterol storing cells. And as I have already mentioned that ACRs, they are mostly made of vesicles and tubules. Okay, RDR on the other hand, they have ribosomes attached to them, and obviously that is why they are called granular. And as I have discussed in the previous slide, they are found in metabolically active cells like cells in liver or pancreas, which are associated with extensive protein synthesis. And a very interesting feature of RDR is the membrane of RDR, they bear fine pore. These are the pores. These are the pores. And at these pores, they are attached to ribosomes. And synthesized polypeptide from ribosomes are channelized into the intramembranous space of ER, that means the luminal space via these fine pores. So what I have told, ribosomes are attached to these pores, and since we know ribosomes are factories of protein synthesis, so the polypeptide which they synthesize, they channelize the polypeptide into this luminal space, that means inside the ER, via these pores. RER contains two types of glycoproteins. So what are they? Let us see. RDR contains two types of glycoproteins. One is riboforin 1 and the next is riboforin 2. And these two glycoproteins are responsible for attachment of ribosomes. So these are what? Glycoproteins involved in attachment of ribosomes. Okay. On account of presence of ribosomes, the RAF ER, obviously they would be engaged in synthesizing proteins and enzymes, and so they have secretory activities also. In conjunction with Golgi apparatus, the RDR, they help in producing lysosomes even. We will talk that in later classes when we talk about lysosomes. In today's class we are mainly talking about ER and Golgi apparatus. Okay, so cisternae, RAF RDR, RAF ER, vesicles and tubules, ACR. And ACR, they are mainly found in lipid producing or fat storing cells, and Spherosomes are believed to originate from ACR. So from ACR, spherosomes are originating.